What's up, guys? We're live. Election day, or should I say second day of elections. Here on Facebook on this phone. We're here on Instagram on this phone. Really great to have you guys here. Today we're talking about all this stuff with the election, but you know, we got to be careful. PragerU itself is a 501c3 organization. If you don't know what that means, it means we're a non-profit, which means we can't support candidates, we can't tell you who to vote for, anything like that. So we're not going to be doing that, but we can talk about some of the bigger picture stuff, and then I want to hear your guys' questions. So if you want to drop any questions in there, you guys know that 4 p.m. is Witt Live, is my podcast that comes out every single week, but everything is about the election this week, and I was up also very late watching the election and all the results, so we're just going to do it on the phone today on my Facebook page and on Instagram, so no YouTube podcast today. Regardless, can you guys put your questions down below? I would love to start answering some of your guys' questions, and I'll get into some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about this. We all know things are seeming a little bit fishy right now. We just saw, it was just in, it was breaking news. It said just in, it said Nevada was expecting that they were going to put their total counted ballots, they were going to put it out tomorrow, and then they said because of interest in their election, they're now deciding that they're going to put it in today. Because of interest. This is these people's jobs. This is what they should be doing the entire time. How can a state like Florida, with the amount of people who live in Florida, I mean, it's a huge state, it's 29 electoral votes. A state like Florida can have all these votes counted, everything done by yesterday, but then a place like Pennsylvania, Michigan, all these other places, they can't get their votes counted in time. It's absolutely absurd what we are seeing right now. With PragerU, I mean, we literally have a video titled How to Steal an Election, and it's all about mail-in voting. It's about voter fraud. I mean, this is just like, PragerU called it. People should be paying us money because we called exactly what was going to happen. Oh, and you guys, Taylor is here too, behind the camera.
Hi, everyone.
So he's also going to be telling me some of the questions and reading them off if we get anything good. So if there's anything good, Taylor, because I know you can't write them down, so if there's anything good, just tell me. And can you guys hear me okay? Just making sure you guys can hear me all right. I think it's important to talk about just how the left feels that they can take advantage of people. The left right now has put people into these intersectional boxes with Hispanics and black people and women, and they say your intersectionality defines you, and they haven't really had to worry about trying to change the minds of these people or push for them to believe in certain things. And now we saw that conservatives got the highest percent of votes from minorities than since 1960, I believe. So they have put these people in these intersectional boxes, and they thought it was a shoo-in. They thought, oh, of course, we're going to get these people. We always get these people, right? There are people. Black people are the left's people. But not anymore. It's changing. It's totally changing because something like Blexit with Candace Owens, her show on PragerU. Hi, Craig. Craig, pale Craig. Craig, come show everyone how pale you are. They all want to see you. That was Craig. Sorry. Anyway, but they think that it's in the bag. They think that it was in the bag and that Craig, look what he does. Craig comes in and ruins everything. But they thought the minorities were just going to come out in droves and vote the exact same way that they did before, but they didn't. But you know the people who actually voted for the left now? You know who those people were? It was straight white men. Straight white men voted for Joe Biden more than they voted for Trump in 2016. So, does that make sense? Did I say that right?
Yeah, Trump had fewer this time than last time around. Or lost support in that demographic.
Trump lost more white male voters this time around than he did in 2016. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for that, one of them being Hillary Clinton was a woman. No offense, but I just think that men are more likely to vote for a man than a woman. And then I think it's a lot of this diversity stuff and a lot of the shaming that the left does to straight white men in this country, where you have all this critical race theory and they get told that you can't talk about certain things because you're a straight white guy. And so they felt ashamed. A lot of people felt ashamed to be American in this country, just to be a white guy in this country, and so they went and voted for Joe Biden thinking that that absolves them of their sin being their whiteness. And they thought that that would absolve them. So we saw an increase there, but or an increase in white men voting for the left, but a decrease in minorities voting for the left. We saw that incredibly strong in Florida, in Miami-Dade, and in a lot of other places as well.
Quick question from Janet, or to comment, I should say.
Quick question or comment, yeah.
She says, I don't put all my faith in elections, but I can't help but feel quite down about things so far. Yeah. I think many feel the same way. conservatives need to support each other and speak encouragement, but she has heavy feelings. So any words for Janet?
Yeah. Janet, thanks for being a viewer. Appreciate you, Janet. On Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah, Janet, if you guys didn't hear the question, she's basically saying, you know, I'm not putting all my faith in elected officials, as you shouldn't, which I talked about yesterday. You shouldn't put all your faith in elected officials, but she's still feeling down about a lot. She's feeling sad. She's not feeling good, and I totally get that. I've been feeling anxious all day. I mean, I was up till like 2 a.m. watching the election last night, trying to get everything, and I felt like garbage. I mean, you know, friends were over, and we were trying to just have a good time, and then it's like you feel terrible about what's actually going on. And it's like, of course, you know, I talked about this yesterday, that, you know, Jesus still sits on the throne. God is in control. He has a plan. But that doesn't mean that we still shouldn't be worried about the things that are going on in our country right now. It doesn't mean that if we see fraud happening or mail-in ballots are not getting delivered, it's like, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk about that just because God is in control. There are things that we need to do on earth and speak the truth about these things. And what I've found to be the most soothing for me when I'm feeling upset or when I don't feel so good about what's going on is to actually talk about it and to actually go out there and say what the truth is about the situations. When you go out there and actually speak up for what you believe in and say this is wrong, this is crap, and say what's actually going on in these states and talk about the inconsistencies with everything, it actually makes me feel better. It makes me feel like, I don't know, like I can actually just relieve myself of that, you know? So maybe that's some advice for you, is that if you're feeling down about this, try and talk to people who you know about it and see if any of them feel the same way. The strength in numbers, okay? And again, you guys, you're conservative for the most part, you know, maybe a couple differences and things like that. But conservatives, take the high road. I put this on Twitter and I had some people coming out and saying, well, we can't take the high road anymore. The left doesn't take the high road. Why would we take the high road anymore? I'm sick of this. They're stealing an election. But the difference is that you can take the high road without acting like a leftist baby, okay? You can take the high road while still speaking truth, by still saying what's right, and by actually going and trying to make changes. Just don't be an ass about it. And don't go and be violent and riot and destroy. One of our lights just died. And destroy your city. Don't go and do that. That's what taking the high road means. It doesn't mean that you don't actually speak up for what you believe in or say what's actually going on. It just means that you do it in the right way. You do it like a respectable person, okay? A respectable person who is taking the high road, because that's what conservatives do. And if we don't take the high road, then I guarantee you that this country is going to get even more divided, and people are going to just hate conservatives even more. I think there's a lot of people, Taylor and I were talking about this before, there are people who hate Trump, obviously. Millions upon millions of people in America right now hate Trump, but the amount of people, I think, on the conservative side who hate Joe Biden, I think is a lot lower. I think conservatives, for the most part, just think that Joe Biden is senile, you know? They think he's old and his son does drugs. And that's what people think about Joe Biden. It's not so much hatred, you know what I mean? Whereas the left is incredibly hateful towards conservatives, towards Donald Trump. I mean, towards me. I get hate every single day. I've been tweeting, you know, like mad about the election stuff, and just the amount of leftists who come in and say horrible, rude, mean things about me. It's just insane. And so conservatives aren't like that. So again, with taking the high road, conservatives are not the people who hate the other side, okay? Do not hate the other side. You can hate the things they do, you can hate their ideas, but do not hate the people. When you hate the people, you are giving them so much of your energy, and it's only making your life worse. It's not making you feel better. Janet before was saying, I'm feeling upset. You hating these people who are doing evil things only makes it worse. You can hate the things they're doing, but don't actually hate the person, okay? Don't actually hate the person. Everyone is created in God's image, and we all make mistakes and do stupid stuff, but don't hate the people, hate the ideas, and hate the policies, and then fight against them by speaking up for the truth.
Another one real quick.
Yeah.
Nita says, I will never vote again. Any words for her?
Nita said she will never vote again. Yeah. So soon enough, they're going to have just an app on your phone, and you can just vote on, like, Tinder. It's going to be like Tinder for voting, and then you just swipe on each thing that it's supposed to be. It's like so stupid. I mean, I see what you're saying. It makes it feel like it's not even worth it. I think that's probably what you mean by it. It's like, oh, I voted and I did all this stuff and put all this time into researching everything, and then I vote and they lose it, or I lose anyway. It's like it feels I mean, it sucks. It definitely sucks, and it makes you probably want to be disenfranchised. But the reason why it's so important that you vote is because people didn't vote before, and now we're in a situation where we have all these stupid things happening in America, and that's because people didn't vote. That's because conservatives capitulated to the left. Look at California. California is an incredibly diverse place that used to be a conservative state. You know, they had Ronald Reagan. And now look at it. It's a hellhole. I mean, it's disgusting. It's a disgusting place. Oh, I just got a sad text. Not about the election. It's from my girlfriend. But, yeah. Or I was just talking about... Yeah, it makes you feel, like, very disenfranchised.
Your vote doesn't count. Yeah.
Your vote doesn't count. Like, your vote doesn't count. But it does count. It will count. But you actually have to speak up and actually go out there and vote for the things that you actually know about. You know, there's no point to vote and not really be passionate about it, or if you don't really know things to vote. I think one of the main reasons why we're seeing a lot of stuff going on right now that's so crazy. I mean, you guys, you're watching me on Instagram right now, you're watching me on Facebook right now. I mean, they just have the badges at the top of your feed, you know what I'm talking about, that says like register to vote. I registered to vote on Instagram. Like, that's how I registered to vote, and I'm sure that like tons of other people did too. And we're seeing like a way bigger increase in young people coming out to the polls now, and that's I think social media did a huge job of actually getting young kids to go and do that, you know. And I think I also saw, looking at famous people, celebrities like Chase Stokes from Outer Banks. It's my boy right there, even though probably voted for Biden, but that's okay. But like, they're all just telling everyone to vote. It felt different than in 2016. 2016, I think the left thought that they were a lot more confident. They thought they were just going to win, as that was going to be it. But now in 2020, they really, really pushed people to vote. You know, they really pushed people to vote. And so that's what we have to do as conservatives too. Well, you know. But
they pushed people to vote, but they didn't inform them. And that's what PragerU's here to do is, you know, yes, we want you to vote, but we also want people to vote after being informed.
Yeah, you shouldn't vote if you're not informed.
I think
you should vote if you're informed about the issues going on. That's the only reason why you should go and vote. Chase Stokes is for Biden, shame. I don't think he said it. I'm just assuming. Maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's not. Him and I are practically the same person.
More questions. I have another one from Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah says, I want to
write your questions on Instagram, guys. If you have any questions, I'll be staying on for a little bit longer.
Sarah says, I want to take the high road, but deep inside I want to do exactly what the left does. Any words for her?
I totally feel that. Listen, I want to go out and just like get my lacrosse stick and just destroy a Wendy's, you know? I want a Wendy's. I want to throw a brick through the gap, but you know, I'm not going to do that. It's like, it's your actions. Like, people always say it's a thought that counts, okay? And I don't believe that. I don't believe it's a thought that counts. I think it's the actions that count. You know, Dennis has this great story. You know, he had a guy call onto his radio show, and the guy said, you know, I live with my mother, and she's super old, and I have to stay there living with her, and it's disgusting. She poops herself all the time, and she's like dying. And sometimes in my head, I just think, I wish that she was dead, you know? This is what this guy thought about his mom. You know, it's horrible for him. He has to stay there every single day and then clean up after her and can't live his own life because he's doing that. And he said, you know, I just wish that she was dead sometimes. But then every single day, regardless of what this guy thought, he still provided for his mother every day. He loved her when in person in his actions. So you might have these thoughts about wanting to go out and do crazy stuff right now and go and hurt someone or destroy a drive-through, whatever you want to do, but don't let your thoughts become your actions. It's okay to have those kind of thoughts, but your actions are much more important, okay? You can think whatever you want. You have that right. You have that freedom to do that, but your actions mean more. I have some good stuff today, too.
I know.
I'm killing it today. It's like I prepared or something.
I was worried before we started this because he wasn't in a great mood, but you know.
I was not. I'm very tired. I am very tired today, and it's gonna stay up late again tonight, trying to watch and waiting for Nevada to come in, some of those other states. So, yeah. You want to do another one? You got any more questions, Taylor?
Well, I'm reading.
You can ask your questions on Facebook. Ask them on Instagram. I can try and look on here and see Someone asked, is America doomed? No, America is not doomed. Elania Gerd, whatever. Sorry, I don't know your name. Is America doomed? No, America is not doomed. America is going to be A-okay. America is going to be just fine. All right, I'm not worried about America at all, especially because, you know, conservatives still have the Senate. The Senate is still for conservatives, for Republicans, and so that means that the left with the Green New Deal and, you know, getting rid of the police and defunding school, whatever they want to do, you know, not defunding schools, but you know what I mean. All these crazy things that the left wants to do, they won't be able to just steamroll ahead and get them done. They won't be able to do that because there's still going to be some opposition. I mean, Cocaine Mitch is going to be in there trying to do some good things, right? So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm not so scared that America's doomed. I honestly was never really that scared for this election. I was more scared for 2024. But the thing is, it's like no matter even who wins, this is why Trump was such a massive force that is different than any other politician. It's because he was not a politician, and that he would go or he did his campaign and he wasn't taking money from special interests. You know what I mean? Trump was doing it off of his own money. And so that's why he was so important. This is why people hated him. This is why big business is totally against Donald Trump. A billionaire corporate America that takes advantage of Americans. Big pharma, soy companies, I mean, all the fast food companies. I mean, they're all taking advantage of us. And Trump did his campaign both times without the help of special interests. You know, so what I'm getting around by saying this is that you have all these big interests, these special interests, a swamp that Trump is saying that, you know, that he wants to drain. To all these people, all these businesses and lobbying, whatever it might be, who are still going to be there, no matter what. You know, we're trying to get rid of them. Trump is trying to get rid of them, but they're still there for sure. Unless people actually do something to get rid of these huge businesses and lobbying and special interest group, they're all still going to be there. So, you know, no matter who gets the presidency, it's like they're all still there. All of these people in the shadows who you don't know their names, you don't know who they are, billionaires in America and across the world are taking advantage of us and controlling our lives in a lot of ways. And that's not a conspiracy theory. All the things that you use every single day, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's like very obvious. All the things that you use every day. Healthcare in America has gotten more expensive. Your housing in America has gotten more expensive. But now you can get a TV for much cheaper, and these things that they export to China. I hope I'm not rambling right now. I'm just trying to explain this so that you guys know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
One more from Amanda.
But America's not doomed. America's going to be fine.
Yeah. I think I'm seeing some people are frustrated with like feeling like their votes don't matter. Like someone in California said, you know, as soon as the polls closed, California was we're losing. It's very emblematic of what's going on right now. No, but they said like as soon as the polls were closed, California went blue. I barely had time to do it. And then another person from Minnesota says, you know, St. Paul and Minneapolis, the big cities, take over the whole state, even though the rest of the state's red. So any words for people who are frustrated with you know, feeling like their votes don't count in deep blue states?
Yeah, no, it's true. But I mean, think about how the left feels like in Alabama. You know, like they probably feel like their vote doesn't really mean anything too. I mean, I don't know if there are any Democrats who live in Alabama.
They change as well. Like we taught in the election trivia you did yesterday.
Right.
The state that's voted Republican the most times was Vermont, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Vermont voted Republican like the most times out of any state. Did you guys know that Vermont voted Republican more than any other state up until like the 1960s? And now it's like one of the most lefty socialist, literally socialist with Bernie Sanders there, socialist states there is. So it's like, it feels like your vote doesn't matter, but it's like, I'll tell you, looking at California right now and how many people voted, I think I could be wrong on this, don't quote me exactly on this. Maybe Taylor, we can look this up later and say something. But I think in California, last 2016, there were 3 million votes for Trump. There were just about 3 million votes for Trump, which is a lot of people. I mean, that's a lot of people still. But this year, it was at about 3.8 million. So, I mean, that's a lot more people coming out and actually voting for Trump than there were last year. But a lot of more people also came out and voted for Biden. But the left gets comfortable. They're going to get comfortable, just like I was talking about at the beginning of this, where they were getting comfortable about, what's it called, the minority voters. They thought that it was just going to be totally fine, and all the minorities are going to vote for the left, just like always, but that wasn't the case. We're seeing a total shift in this country. Not a total shift, but we're seeing definitely shifts in this country. So they get complacent. They think everything's all Gucci, all the time, but it's not Gucci, all right? It's more like TJ Maxx for the left, okay? It's Ross. The left is the Ross of standards. And that's for anyone who shops at Ross. I'm sorry. I don't shop at Ross.
You're sounding like a liberal elite over
I'm
here.
a liberal elite. No, I shop at. I mean, I thrift almost everything I have. This.
Sure, he tried to get a couch from PragerU CEO the other day for free.
I know. I was trying to get a couch, and she was being all stingy with me. Wouldn't give me your couch. You're not gonna give me your couch after everything I've done for you, Marissa. You're not gonna give me your couch? Insanity. Anyway, yeah, I hope that answers the question. Someone asked. I think I'm gonna do this one, then we'll probably wrap it up. Oh, Cass just texted me. Your girlfriend shops at Ross. Yeah, I know. I know you shop at Ross, Cass, but I don't shop at Ross. I shop
Team
at Goodwill.
TJ.
Yeah, well, you shop at TJ Maxx and you shop at Ross. But, you know, Cass has very good style. My girlfriend has very good style. She doesn't spend a lot of money on clothes. I either spend a lot of money or like no money at all. Like 50 cents for like my favorite flannel is like 50 cents at Goodwill. Or I'll spend like, I have like this, I was wearing it this weekend, it was like $100, like 100% cashmere sweater.
Oh gosh.
From J. Crew. And it's like, so I'll pay like, you know, I will shell out if need be, but I'll also be really cheap too. But Cass, you're beautiful and you have great fashion. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, the last question that I wanted to answer was just that if people thought there was going to be a civil war, and I don't think there's going to be a civil war. And now Sabrina texted me, I got throw pillows at Ross. Sabrina, stop texting me. God, I got, what were we just talking about? The Civil War, okay. I need to turn notifications off before I do this. This is like insane. Everyone's texting me, ruining the live, okay? You guys enjoy it? You enjoy ruining my live, Sabrina and Cass? Thank you. It's women. Always blowing up my phone. You know, what are you going to do when you're Will Witt? Okay. Anyway, Civil War. Yo, there's not going to be a Civil War, okay? Go on your campus if you're a student. Go on a bus. Go to the grocery store and look at the people around you, okay? Look at the people around you at the store, wherever you are. You think these people are about to pick up arms and go and shoot people who disagree with them politically? No. It's like not going to happen. The only type of civil war that would take place is that we have a lot of Antifa people and far leftists coming out and trying to destroy a city, and then you have opposition from some people who don't want to see their city destroyed. And I think that might happen. I actually think there's a good chance that'll happen. But it's sad that that would happen, but I think that that's what's more likely. But a civil war, that, you know, the way that sounds, it's just like so ludicrous. People who say there's going to be a civil war in this country spend way too much time on Twitter. Get off your butt and get like off your phone and go take a walk or something. You know, don't be so negative. A civil war? You gotta be kidding me. Half the people, even the people of PragerU, like, we're all obviously all conservative, but I mean, these people aren't about to go fight anyone. Do you know anyone really, like realistically, who wants to go shoot someone for having a difference of opinion? It's just like, no way. So people are going to be upset, and I'm sure there will be some people who are going out and doing crazy crap, doing some crazy stuff, all right? I got no doubt that that's going to happen. But to think that there's going to be a civil war, it's just no. There's not going to be a civil war. There might be small skirmishes, a little skirm. Is that how do you plurals?
Skirmi?
Yeah, skirmi. I'm a skirmi all over this city, boy. Skirmi. Yeah.
But no civil war.
No civil war. Just a little skirm. All right. So if you guys are skirming tonight, just don't skirm too hard. All right. No skirming on my watch.
Don't rep the police. Don't defund them like Will is today.
Yeah, I wore my NYPD because I want people to know that I support.
And we need the police tonight.
We are going to need them tonight, I'm sure, and probably tomorrow. Probably in Michigan a lot, to be honest. Anyway, guys, I think we're gonna end it today. Skirm on out of here, and I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Taylor, thank you for holding the phone and doing the questions, and you guys can always hit me up if you need anything. And make sure that if you're on Facebook here, you're also following me on Instagram. And if you're on Instagram here, you're following me on Facebook at the same time. And also Twitter. So, okay, we're going to be up late tonight, and you can follow me here, and I'll be doing more updates and stuff all over social media. So stay up with me, Will Witt, follow PragerU, and stay strong out there, guys. All right? Put your faith in God. Put your faith in Jesus. He's still on the throne. Do not be so worried about what is happening in the material world around us when there is so much beauty yet to come. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys later.